So my father did a variety of things in school, was quite brilliant in high school, but got into Weber State because of a work for tuition program. So he worked early in the morning as a janitor and got tuition pay for that, got his way through the 2 years at Weber State, and then moved on to University of Utah from there. He lucked out during the war. He was smart enough, he passed all the tests. The War Department put him through school all through the war. So he lucked out. I mean, he was very lucky to receive an education that was good for the world in that he picked up a lot of things that were necessary for his inventions later while he was being educated back east by the War Department. And then eventually he got back to the University of Utah and finished his PhD under Dr. Henry Eyring. Going to the library in Ogden, he picked up on Edison and told his fourth grade teacher that he was going to work at the Edison labs, in fourth grade. So he was brash, but he ended up getting there with the help of Henry Eyring. Good reference from him, got in at the Edison labs in Schenectady, New York. During the war, the government found that they were very dependent on foreign diamond products, and they didn't like that. So they asked General Electric to work with other companies and figure out a way to make diamond from carbon. So they formed a team. My father was the youngest member of that team and the most enthusiastic. People were a little bit shy going into it because how do you do something that's impossible, right? So there was a lot of skeptics. He was supposed to do just chemistry, but because he had such broad skills in design and machining and mechanics, because of all of his education in the war and being a farm boy, he ended up really being the leader of the team. So on December 16th of 1954, most of the people were on Christmas break. He was at the lab still trying experiments out, and he opened up an experiment and saw these sparkly diamonds. And, his knees just collapsed, and he, realized that diamonds had been made by man. Except for making gold from lead, making diamond from graphite, that's about the best you can do in science.
The Hall family has such a long history here at this institution where my uncle Tracy Hall with his brothers attended this institution back when it was Weber College. So when we saw an opportunity to build this new building where donors and the legislature would step up and make this magnificent building, make it possible, it was, you look at that and think that's what Tracy did. He took things that were now old and brought something new together, and the building exemplifies the man himself in that very fashion.
Our quality of life that we've experienced over the last 150 years has increased because of science. We have so many industries, so many businesses, so much technology in northern Utah. We can have talent and we can have lots of well-meaning programs, But if you have the facilities, it makes all the difference in the world.
One of the things that the legislature and others know is important that we do is have great institutions like Weber State, have facilities like this great science building that'll help further the education for our students. And the legislature has not appropriated more money for any higher education building ever in the state's history. The fact of the matter is actually down at the legislature, it's very easy to get support for Weber State. The tradition of academic excellence and the teacher and instructor-focused curriculum is something that the state really values. So they recognize the need up here, and we're very excited to help support the effort.
We started design for this project probably almost 4 years ago, and we got a contractor on board in the spring of 2014. It's 200,000 square feet and very complex, and so it took us 2 full academic years to complete this building. We've really relied on the faculty to engage in the design process and bring those things that they feel like would be both aesthetically pleasing and representative of their curriculum and put them on the outside of the building. So it's been a fascinating process to learn about them, but also to engage them and have a faculty member sit outside with a brick mason and ensure that the patterns match the sequencing that the faculty designed months, if not years ago.
We do live in a beautiful place, and we wanted to reflect that in the building. It was one of our guiding principles to be able to marry our building with our surroundings. So we used a lot of local materials to represent our place in Utah. We have glass fronts and a lot of classrooms and a lot of research spaces. And that is because we wanted to put science on display. That science on display is something that I think is very important. It will be engaging for students walking through. And what we hope is that it will be attractive enough to some of those students who walk through the building, watching us and our students do science, such that we attract a greater depth and diversity of students to the college.
I think that the learning environment is really where this building is going to shine. This is a fantastic building for students and for teaching and for instruction. The laboratories are incredible. And the teaching rooms, the lecture halls and the classrooms are really set up for a lot of flexibility, so we can really improve our use of innovative teaching, group learning, improve technology in the classroom, and it's just going to be a really fun environment for students. It's also going to set up a lot of ways that students can interact with each other and that faculty can interact with each other. So learning is going to happen throughout the building, not just in the classrooms and in the laboratories.
I think from the very first design meeting we had, we tried to look at this facility from the student's perspective. This facility is a testament to how much we care about the students, we are invested in the students to create them the best educational experience possible.
I know for the last year, since I knew this building was going to be a science building, I've been really excited, and people have been disappointed that they were going to graduate before they could actually come use this building. So I think it'll only help grow the sciences, and more people will come to Weber State to get their science degree.
Science, I think people look at it as a boring subject. When you saw the old building, it kind of looked like that. You'd look at the labs and it was just a lab. It was boring. And science is not like that. Science is fascinating. It's awesome. It's like this building. And I think this building will promote science. It'll help students that haven't gone to college yet look into what science really is. And then when they see this building, there's something to back it up.
Tracy Hall is stunning. It was amazing to me to see the transformation when you see the old facility and now you see this beautiful new one.
Really, the heart of campus around the Bell Tower Plaza is now complete. It's kind of that missing jewel in the heart of campus.
This building is just a shell. This building is material, it's there, but what their minds will learn while they're here, and then as they use that genius to help others, that's the legacy.
We now have here in Ogden one of the finest science centers anywhere that I can think of. And what that means is there will be students coming out of here who are well trained by great faculty and staff. There will be new sciences developed here. It's going to be a center of excellence when you think about what we have here today.
We've moved from the past in the Science Lab building directly to the future in Tracy Hall Science Center.